Now, from Into Tomorrow, this is an ITTV special report.
Our next guest is with a company that provides operating systems to a wide variety of industries, including automakers like Audi and Acura and BMW, Ford, GM, Honda, Mercedes, Toyota, among others. He is Vice President of Sales and Marketing for a company called QNX Software Systems. Here's Derek Kuhn. Welcome Into Tomorrow.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
It's a pleasure. Let's talk about this whole role of software in the automotive technology industry. How advanced is it? I mean, we keep seeing more and more tech when you're dealing with automotive things. We see ads now where companies are frequently touting technology as the top item now, and not just miles per gallon it used to be, or just safety kinds of things, but it's all about tech, and then everything else falls second and third.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's really changed, right? I mean, you know, the actual technology in the car, the user experience, or what a lot of automakers talk about, the cockpit experience now, is playing a major role in the selling of cars. It's not just about the gorgeous sheet metal, the color, you know, the way the plastics look and feel in the car anymore. It's really a big part of it, and it's because of the consumer demand and the consumer experience of consumer electronics, you know, smartphones, tablets, you know, how TVs are evolving, and how people want that in their car.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, and they do. And not only the video entertainment kinds of things for those in the back seat, because, of course, as drivers, you would never, ever watch video while you're trying to drive. But the fact is, there's all this great entertainment technology, let alone some of the other features that are available.
There is, but you know, I don't even think about it like entertainment. I think about it like there's an experience that we get used to in life. And the reality is that consumers like you and I, we want that in our cars as well, right? And it's about essentially a convergence of what's happening in mobility, what's happening in consumer electronics, and how that affects automotive going forward. So our goal now is really, you know, trying to bring auto into that paradigm by, you know, creating platforms that provide seamless integration between things that happen on your mobile device and the car, but you never have to take it out of your pocket, out of your purse. You have an experience that's safe, productive, allows you to keep your eyes on the road.
And that's really key. And it used to be when we talk about stuff like that, it was, those rare cars that have like a heads-up display, because now you're not looking anywhere except slightly glancing down. There's a whole lot more has grown in this industry since those kinds of things were introduced as really novelties, really.
They were novelty. I mean, 30 years ago we had heads-up display, you know, at various different car manufacturers, showcases. The reality is they never really took off, right? Because the experience that you had with them was very, very limited. But the technology has come so far, so fast in the last few years that a lot of that is coming back, right? Like I said, we're not just talking about a navigation system that is in the car anymore. We're talking about an infotainment system and a real cockpit experience. How does that system that you have in the dash actually communicate with what's in the instrument cluster, for example? You know, how are you interacting with your contacts and with information that's coming to you? Now voice with off-board speech recognition is playing a huge role because of technologies like LTE from the mobility industry.
Oh, sure,
Right? And how much that brings to automotive. It's a very, very exciting time right now in automotive electronics.
As well it should be, and yet we've barely scratched the surface, it seems, in many of the things that we should be able to do with tech in our vehicles. Huh?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I mean, the automotive systems, I mean, a lot of them are life safety critical systems. So the design of them is fundamentally different than how we design a piece of consumer electronics. You know what I mean? So what we're trying to do now in this industry is really bridge those two. Allow for that experience, but make that experience as safe as it can be. Because I think, you know, the worst case scenario is the person that's driving and looking down and trying to text or interact with an app. We want them to have that experience, but be in the car and just do it naturally.
What are consumers demanding that companies like yours, QNX Software Systems, are working towards to say it's going to be a better experience now?
Oh, a few things. I mean, you know, the one thing that really is a tremendous example is Bluetooth pairing. You know, so many of us don't use our phones in the car properly. We're still holding them.
Yeah,
because
even in states where or municipalities where it's required to use a speakerphone, they're not doing it properly.
But I mean, I don't know how many friends that you have. They struggle with getting that connected to the car.
And yet, it's one of the easiest things to do is pairing a Bluetooth device. And until you've done it, and then you've accomplished one, you go, that wasn't so bad.
It wasn't so bad. But for whatever reason, our customers, the automotive manufacturers, are telling us, hey, this is actually way harder than we like it to be. So, we've developed things like NFC pairing, where literally you use your smartphone, you touch the car, beep, done.
Oh, love it. Now, of course, that works on things like my Galaxy S3, but not so much on iPhones and those kinds of things, at least not yet.
Not yet, but I think NFC is something that mobility will adopt in a big way going forward, and
what a great concept. Just touch it to a certain part of the dash, and now you're paired.
Dirt simple.
And we as consumers don't have to be doing other hoops to jump through, right?
Exactly.
Well, how are you guys at QNX impacting these kinds of trends that you're seeing in this automotive business real quick?
Well, I mean, I think, there's a bunch of different ways. Obviously, we're out at events like this trying to create dialogue about what is happening in the industry and how things might change, right?
Yeah.
Using technologies that come from mobility, like HTML5, in automotive to showcase how you can bring things like applications into the vehicle and use the developer community around mobility really effectively in automotive is a huge part of it. And just making those experiences better in vehicle and giving the automakers the plumbing to be able to do and make their systems look and feel like whatever they like.
Love it. Well, you've got one of the easier websites to go to, and you'll be able to see what Derek and his team are up to. Just the letters QNX.com for more info. We'll link you there, of course, with all of our guests at IntoTomorrow.com. But Derek, thanks for spending a few minutes with us, and we'll see if we can't get an update from you as we head and drive further into tomorrow.
Sounds great, Dave. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Back with more IntoTomorrow.com for the videos as well of all of our guest interviews and lots more. Be sure to check out this week's highlight video, too. More of Into Tomorrow from New York and CES Unveiled as we continue.